Does Bigfoot like salt on his deer? Let's talk about it. I'm going to read to you a unique encounter report that came out of Carter County back in 2014. The witness is called Mark. The encounter was investigated by Charlie Raymond, and let's get into it. So here's what Mark had to say when he initially reached out to us. These are his own words, and I'm going to read them to you verbatim. I was in my cabin and decided to sit on the back deck looking into the wooded area that I put salt blocks out for deer near my pond. I'd heard there was a nice 10-point whitetail buck that was roaming around my place and thought I might get a glimpse of him. I sat down and was watching the woods when out of the corner of my eyes was a large object coming from the left of my property. I stayed still thinking it might be a bear since there have been a few sightings close by. I then saw it was upright and had the block and kept going without any hesitation through the woods. These are dense woods, and now that I think about it, I'm wondering if the noises that I heard, thinking they were coyote, might have actually been Bigfoot screams at night. I've never seen any prints, nor did it leave any today, but I wish I had had my camera with me at the time. So Mark then went on to describe the creature in detail, and again in his own words, he states, the creature was about 7 foot tall, very broad at the shoulders and had an upright gait. It had a very large stride, dark hair with a peak on the top of its head like a primate has. It followed the path of least resistance, which is fairly flat. Now that concludes Mark's section of the report, and what follows is Charlie's own investigation and his interpretation of Mark's encounter. On December the 3rd, 2014, Charlie followed up with Mark, and what follows is his report. Again, I'm going to read it to you verbatim. I called the witness and spoke to him for about 30 minutes. He seemed to be very credible. He's 46 years old and is an avid hunter and outdoorsman. He's been hunting since he was 10 years old. On October the 12th, 2014, at around 3 p.m. on a cloudy day, he was sitting on his deck looking back towards the woods where he has a salt block for his deer. He then saw an object coming from the left of his property. When he first saw it, he thought it was a bear since there have been nearby sightings. He then saw it was standing upright and walking along the edge of the woods following a deer trail. It took about 15 steps and then drifted off into the woods and into a hollow. He doesn't think that the creature saw him, and he estimated it to be 40 to 50 yards away. He described the creature as being around 7 foot tall, and the colour was a burnt orange. He said it was a little lighter than dark brown, but a little darker than tan. The hair was not short, but it had a flow to it. He said the width of the shoulders were around 4 feet, and the length of the arms were longer than most people, maybe 3.5 to 4 feet long. The legs were really bulky. You could see lots of definition in the calves, quads, and hamstrings. It had an arch in the shoulders, and the body did not bounce up and down when it walked. He did not get a good look at the feet, and he only saw the face from the side. He therefore could not see any features of the face or any hair on it. He noted that the face was kind of dark. The head was ape-like shaped. He did not notice any kind of smell. This is a gateway cabin for the witness, which is sitting on 6 acres and is surrounded by 2,000 acres of forest. Now, what I would like to add is that Carter County has had so many Bigfoot encounters. We've got multiple reports on the website, and I would encourage anybody to check that out and have a look, especially if you're living in that area. It's super interesting. Now, what I like about this report is the fact that this Bigfoot picked up a salt block and actually walked away with it. Now, we can only imagine why it would want to do that. For me, a couple of possibilities would be that perhaps it liked the taste, perhaps it wanted the nutritional value, or perhaps it wanted to bait its own traps, having seen a hunter do that so many times in the past. We just don't know, but we do want to talk about it. So if you have any thoughts or opinions, please leave us a comment below. I'm Lyndsey Raymond for the KBRO. If you enjoy our content, please like and subscribe. Until next time.